So today we are looking at Team 3 for Futties. We are starting to get there, the grind is continuing, and we've got some more 99s to throw into the pot. We're seeing Rafinha, interesting to say the least, to be honest. We have CR7, which was an obvious one, and we also have Cruyff, massive players in general. So we're going to go through them. Obviously we do have a couple of SBCs that are pretty fantastic in themselves as well. We have got a very cheap Benzema that I was surprised he got one as a 97. Is incredible. Obviously he's had a team of the season at 96. Surprised he didn't get a 98 SBC, but we're not necessarily in there where every SBC is going to be cheap, highly rated, like in terms of 98, 99s just yet, but I can imagine that is coming very soon if they're going to do it. In terms of big boy Benz, obviously finesse, incisive, quick step, low driven, more than enough, to be honest. He's a 5-star. He's got himself the stats. I mean, in terms of a cheap beast, if you are starting a brand new account, if you're coming back to FC, then really this is a perfect one to start with. Now, I don't think he's absolutely in the absolute top meta, but he most definitely is a very usable capability. He's got the French nation. He's got himself the Saudi links. Naturally, obviously, with Futties, they are just mega links anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. But in terms of his ability, Benzema's always had a very good end game card. May take a little bit to get there, like informs, specials. It kind of waits till the team of the season at the minimum, but once he gets to this Futties, he's a pretty all-round sort of striker, and most definitely they've given him a pretty good look here. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. Now another one in the SBCs is going to be the more expensive one. It's going to be the icon Ribery. He's coming with the 98. Obviously he was a big one in the Immortals that we got during the last season progress, or the season prior it might have been now. It expired 06. So yeah, it's got to have been last season, which doesn't, no, it's going to be the season before because Kaka was that one. So it's already 2 seasons on since we got this Ribery, and now we've got the 98 SBC at 1.5 million, which is just nuts in itself. But like I say, we're going to get the grind. We're going to get the complete unlimited grind. He's here until the 8th of August, which is more than enough time. We are going to get unlimited SBCs at some point in the very near future, I can imagine. Probably into the next week now. We more than likely will end up with like 585 times 10s and 1084 times 10s. And then maybe they sprinkle something else in there. So we're going to get a grind that is well worth looking at. Obviously with Ribery, he's going to be one of the better left mids you can get. Now he's got to really be accompanied by the likes of an Mbappe playing left wing. He's got himself now plenty of other talented players coming in on that left hand side. A Vinny 98. You could even throw Rafinha as a 99 in there. If you wanted to go with, say, a Yamal on the right hand side, you could go with a Vinny on the other. Ronaldinho at some point will get some sort of upgrade. Ginola is going to be the big one in general, but you can see that there is plenty of players that can play that side that you might already have. Now, some of them players are absolute top of the top, so it's very harsh to kind of criticize them against them more so than anything. But in general, I think with Ribery, he's probably going to put himself into that top meta. Like Ribery in his card in himself is always been a very nice one. I quite like Ribery in the game. He's a smaller sort of player. He's got obviously the playstyle pluses added to him. Finesse, whipped pass, technical, quick step, Travella. Would have liked a low driven over the whipped pass, especially when headers and volleys and stuff like that don't really do too much. You've got to take the touch anyway. So I would have liked something different, but in general, you can't really be too mad with him. He's 5'7". He's got the agility. He's got the balance on him. He's going to be wonderful. Now, when we do look at the 99s, like I say, we have got some of the best ones from this week. I didn't expect Cruyff. I expected Hullet this week. But I didn't expect Rafinha. With the fact that we got Vinny as a 98, I know we got Yamal as the 99. I kind of expected if we were to get any sort of Rafinha or Rodrigo for them to be 98 more so, especially because Vinny didn't get the 99. I thought that might have been exclusive to your Messi, your Mbappe, your obvious CR7, and then into your Maus, and then potentially maybe like a Bellingham or a Haaland. I know Bellingham's had another one, but I kind of expected them to be the 99s. Then you've got your icons and your heroes in general. But Rafinha got a beautiful upgrade. 6.4 mil, finesse, first touch, incisive, quick step, Travella. A perfect card. Most 99s now are going to go straight to the top. Obviously, when you look at as a CR7, he's probably the most perfect, well-rounded card you've got. He's got himself the finesse, chip shot, which is a throwaway, the low driven, the rapid, and an aerial. I mean, that is a pretty perfect playstyle plus card. 5/5, great stats, 10 million. It's to be expected. That's kind of an easy one to throw in there. And then obviously you throw in a bit of Cruyff. I mean, it's a throwaway card, isn't he, really, at this point? 9.4 mil, finesse, first touch, quick step, tiki-taka, low driven. Absolutely outstanding. Every position you can throw him in, he's going to be top of the top. Of course he is. Now, we still have a few of the lower rated cards in there, the kind of players that you will get a considerable amount of. Adeyemi, obviously you've got the Italian, I can never say the name. What was his first name? Is it yeah, it was Alessandro. Obviously you've got a few of the throwaways that are kind of there. Like, they're not bad, they're not necessarily going to be your main team worthy, especially with the Evos that we've got. We're going to have better players than them, unfortunately, and it's why they're 15k already, so you're going to have to miss a few. At this point, we are on team 3 of Futties. We've got plenty of upgradable packs, plenty of batch players coming in from Team of the Seasons to brand new Evos, making us a 97, 98 every other day. So really, 96s and 97s at this point that are coming out for the lower rated fodder are probably not going to do enough. Like, realistically, we could probably say it's a miss. We could probably say with Valali, it's probably going to be a miss at this point. Even with Scholes, he's kind of got a nice upgrade for him, but realistically, are you going to put him there? Naturally, when we do get to, what's it, level 35 or whatever the Bellingham brothers are, whatever level they are, once they're in, realistically, you don't need any of these midfielders anymore. Naturally, you'll wait for a 99, and it's pretty much the only thing we're waiting for now. But they are going to be pretty much obsolete. So I could kind of say quite easily, Scholes is probably going to be a miss in this. Valali, more than likely a miss. We've got the Italian centre-back, especially with Saliba, with Van de Ven as an SBC, Jaap Stam as an SBC. He's not really going to hold a place, especially when Virgil van Dijk is at the end of the season pass waiting for everybody as a 99. That is going to be the first 99 for a lot of people if you've not been lucky in SBCs. So realistically, he's not going to have a spot. We then also have the likes of Forlan and kind of like your Adeyemi's as well in general. And then kind of like your Lampards, where they're a little bit up from the fat. They're not necessarily going too crazy, but they've got a bit about them. Forlan's going to be a big one. He's got a bit to give. With Valali, he's kind of always been a very standard card. You've kind of got your Forlans, your Tevez's, that they give you that little bit extra. And I think that's going to be quite easy for a lot of them when we do look at your Adeyemi's, at your Forlans. They're going to be the usable cards. They may not be star studders. They may not be too much better than your Scholeses and your Valalis, but they offer that little bit more into the team where maybe you could throw them in and they might have a bit more of a nostalgic value potential. Scholes in general has always been just terrible in the game. He's kind of like Thomas Muller. In terms of his ability, brilliant in real football. But when it comes to the game, they just don't translate very well. And Scholes never has done. Like, you can give him everything. You give him the 99 passing, the defending, the shooting, the pace. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too late. That's always been the case with Scholes, because you need him at such a high rated, unless he's going to be in that first week where maybe you could get a bit of usability out of him, other than maybe a past and present Man U team. But even then, you've got a high rated Bruno that's going to do it. You've got a shapeshifter Cantona that could do it. There's already so many cards above him. I personally like Desai. He's going to be one that a lot of people could just skip over. I think he's got a great ability in the game. You could throw him CDM, you could throw him centre-back. He's got 4 playstyle pluses that do the business. He's going to wait for an Evo at some point as well to get that 5th. I always like him. He's always been a fantastic card for me, so we're going to throw him up there just that little bit more. Which kind of then leads us on to a bit of Rodman, who has been exceptional this year again. She's got herself a team of the season that was really nice when it came out, with the rapid and finesse. Unfortunately, didn't get treated to that nice triple, but is what it is. She obviously had a really nice SBC that now could be evoed, but this is a lovely card. 5 playstyle pluses, finesse, low driven, first touch, rapid, and a throwaway technical. I mean, it's a perfect usable card in my options, so that's going to be one that gets thrown in there nice and easy. When it comes to Batcher, she has been available so much in this promo. You've obviously got 97. In terms of stats, she's decent enough. I actually really like the quick step on a fullback now. Since having Thuram and Van der Ven just absolutely rip it up, it's really nice having a nice amount of acceleration from them, so I could be on board with the idea. I don't think she's going to be many people's standout left backs, especially with Teo still being available in a lot of Evos and eventually becoming another one, and Alphonso Davies being a big upgrade that you can get into SBC still at this point. I do think she's got a little bit to offer. And then if we go to another icon, we'll go to Carlos Alberto, because he's got a monstrous upgrade, going from his lovely winter wildcard upgrade to a 98 right back. 5 playstyle pluses, can still play the centre back as well, so if you wanted to flex in between the two, it's more than available to do so. I do think at this point, if you've got a Saliba, a Van Dijk, a Van der Ven, a Jaap Stam, and you don't have Thuram yet or someone like that, you could easily throw him right back. Like, I mean, that's going to be a great position for him, and he is a 98, so he's one higher than Thuram. Can't argue with him, but I think he is. Thuram's 97, isn't he? Yeah, so he's one rate high. Nice and easy. Get him done, get him in there. I think he's a fantastic one. I'd put him absolutely in that top meta. When we do look at a Garincha, on the other hand, is he a top meta in the right wing? He's a 98, so he's definitely up there with the best of them. Finesse, low driven, rapid, tiki-taka, it's the same on. As long as they've got at least a rapid or quick step, a finesse shot at the minimum, low driven's a nice added extra, and then a passing, some sort of option, an incisive, a pinged pass, anything but kind of like your whipped cross. The whipped cross is kind of okay, but it's not what everybody wants at this point. Now, I think in terms of Garincha, it's going to be very difficult. When we look at the Carlos Albertos of the world and think, okay, 98 is going to be good enough, we don't have any 99 right backs yet. So he's kind of already on the top of the top, whereas we already have a Rafinha 99, we have a Yamal 99. We more than likely will have more and more coming in the next few weeks. I'd possibly put him one lower, in my opinion. I think he's already at the point where we've already got better in a few positions, kind of going across that right-hand side, and he doesn't have that versatility to go up front, to go in the cam, or go in that left wing. I think stats-wise, he's going to be good as always. Like, most cards are going to have them sort of level of stats, but I do think when we do kind of think, is Yamal going to be over him? Of course he is. Would you take an Evo Dembele at times? I think you probably would at this point. So there's going to be plenty of players that will take that position of him, let alone the Evo that we've got that could be put from a striker into a right wing, like a Dembele card. We also have De Gea. I think De Gea and Dudek are 2 very good keepers, but I would say for me, if I was looking at both of them, that's where I'd go. De Gea was exceptional in his team of the season. It's just another upgrade from him. Dudek is not bad. He's swaying me. He's one of the better hero keepers that you can get now. I was kind of hoping that we'd see some sort of Howard card, but we haven't really seen too much of keepers in general this year. We obviously saw him for his fantasy hero, but whether we see another upgrade for hero keeper, we'll see. We'll absolutely see. Now, one man that I'm surprised didn't get a bigger upgrade, Kvaratskhelia. I mean, 97, I think that's a really big disservice for him. The fact that he's got a 96, 2 of them, he's won himself the Champions League, he's got himself as a pretty important player in both of them. I really expected at the minimum a 98. Like, he's a Champions League winning side. He's got himself a 96 already. A +1 in July just doesn't seem right for him. He's got himself some nice playstyle pluses. Travella, incisive, rapid, finesse. He was already a 5-star anyway. Some great stats. Versatility across the left and right hand side. I just think he could have been into that top meta. I really think his sort of ability should be in that top meta and kind of going alongside a potential top-end Ribery. But unfortunately, I just think he's fell short. He really has. Now, if we go to the kind of final winger of the list, we do have Jovinho. Obviously, got himself into the FUT Birthday Heroes. that was naturally his kind of introduction. Whether we see a big upgrade into him next year, because normally you find Di Natale doesn't get upgraded much, Capdevia doesn't seem to ever be upgraded. So I'm hoping that Gervinho, Doumbia, all of them will get upgraded as we do see. I think he's a nice card, but again, he's going to be kind of flatlined a little bit. With Ribery's SBC, with Kvaratskhelia, with obviously then the Ginolas, like we've said, the many, many players that you can get, I don't think he's going to be the first picked. I really think he would be another one that would be kind of sidelined to a Ribery. And that just goes to game style in my opinion. I do think Ribery is the better card. And again, it just goes down to what you prefer. The 5-play star plus is going to have that nice knock-on effect. One of the cards that does seem a pretty cheap beast if you can get him in there, Bruno G. Looks a solid unit. Technical is the only one I'm kind of not feeling. But Pinged Pass, great play star plus. Intercept is one of my favourites, and Bruiser, fantastic. The only thing other than the technical is not having that 5-5. Now, at the very minimum, at least it's a skill move, not a weak foot, so I could kind of see past that. But stats-wise, ability-wise, he's going to have everything you need. He's going to be that beautiful centre mid, CDM. I really think this card could produce a little bit of magic. He's going to be one of them cheaper beasts that you could throw in there, and most definitely would be great in a starter team. Sometimes, if you're kind of doing yourself a challenge, this could be the one. And then finally, we do have Musiala. Now, obviously, Musiala, this is going to be the biggest card he gets for pretty much the rest of the game, and then we will see where his injury takes him. Is this a pivotal moment into his career? Is this something that just makes him stronger? It's going to be a hard one for him, I'm not going to lie. The injury just looked unbelievable. So a 98 Musiala, again, could be better. I think Wirtz is going to blow him out of the water with his Liverpool card when inevitably he does get it, if it is a transfer card after Futties or they do start bringing them in again. Again, he's one of them. I really think he should have been in the top end. Like, he really should have been a top meta. I'm probably saying at the minimum we are looking at a very usable, or maximum we are looking at a very usable, and again it's going to be a questionable whether he does drop down in the next couple of weeks very soon as such, because we have got so many cams available and more 99s coming out every single week. So it is an interesting one to see cards like this, whether they can do anything. Now obviously in the Bundesliga and the German League, he's going to do enough. When it comes to a overall team, a main team going into champs, I think you'd be very surprised if he makes it into there. Like I said, Bellingham brothers are going to be a nasty duo in champs in probably a week's time when everybody gets there, not just Morsi. I've seen the 99 reviews already. Absolutely nuts that he's there already in general. So that's going to be insane to see a lot of people rocking. But that's going to be for Team 3. I'm interested to see Team 4, and hopefully we do get that 99 Hullet, because I am banking on him coming out, and hopefully some good SBCs coming as well. So Monday is going to be for that. We'll check in tomorrow and see where the grind takes us. Peace.